Hi, I'm Chelsea from Diva Media. In this quick video, I'm going to go through 4 key questions to ask when you're developing your brand messaging. So when I work with clients, often they come to me with a request to build a new website or to revamp their old marketing materials or help them design an online program, something like that. And while that's the end product they're looking for, before we can get to that point, we have to zoom out to first look at the strategy and the messaging behind it. So why is it so vital to develop your messaging before you first design, develop, and create the elements of your end product? Well, it's because the mistake often made is trying to sell what you have and not actually what your customers or clients want. And so that's a real subtle distinction, and these 4 questions I'm going to give you are going to help you to kind of suss out the difference there. So what do your customers or your clients want? Why would they be looking for a solution in the first place that's going to lead them to come even seek out your services or someone's services like what you're offering? And then what other options do they have? If they don't go with you, if they don't buy your product or service, what else are they comparing you to as an option to get the result they want or to fix the problem they have, right? These questions really inform the approach of your messaging and your entire sales funnel. So let's get to these questions. So first, actually answering these questions is going to clarify things for you, like what headline to use on your website, or if you need an email funnel. And if you do, what would you say in the email funnel? And if you need to complement your product or service, say with additional offerings like backend support or an online course or like a mastermind program. And then it also would inform how to serve your clients better and how to reach more of your ideal customers and then connect with them more deeply as a result to really create that long-term relationship. And so marketing isn't really about slapping a great logo and a gorgeous, sleek website onto your brand. Marketing really is about building a relationship. And so if you pick up any book on relationship building, whether it's romantic relationships or connecting at conferences and networking, books about starting conversations or building friendships, all of these books are actually marketing books, even though they're like in the self-help or psychology section of your bookstore. And so on your website, in your sales calls, in your follow-up emails, you got to understand what your prospect wants and not tell them what you do, right? So here are those key questions, okay? So number 1, if you take your top 20% of customers or clients, how would they describe what you do? Number 2, who is your best referral or referral source? Is it a particular person, for instance? And why do they refer you? And what do they say about you that compels people enough to come find you specifically? Number 3, after someone purchases and uses your product or service, what do they actually get out of it? Like, does something physically change in their environment? Do they shift emotionally? Does their status up level or change in some way? Do they just feel better about themselves or their family? That's what you're selling. That's the end result. That's actually what they're buying, right? They're not buying your widget. They're not buying your coaching or your service or your plumbing services. They're buying the fixed end result. If you're selling plumbing services, what they're buying is a fixed toilet or fixed plumbing. They're not really buying your services. I mean, your services are a part of that, but that's not actually the end result they're going for, right? They're going for just the clarity that their plumbing's fixed. So finally, the 4th question, if you zoom out 5 years from now, what advice would you give yourself now about your messaging and how to improve it to reach your goals? And that's a little kind of perspective question, but you can get some really insightful results if you look at yourself 5 years from now coming back to give yourself presently advice. And these questions are generally much, much easier to answer by talking out with your team or your existing clients, your colleagues, or your partner. It's really hard to answer these based on your opinion or your assumption of what the answer probably is, because it's like looking out from your own fishbowl. So by answering these questions with someone who has another perspective, that's going to be able to allow you to dial into the core of your messaging with more certainty. Once you dial in your messaging by knowing the results you're offering to people, then you're going to be able to determine how to lay out your website, how to structure your information, and then how to guide your design. If you like this video, subscribe below, and I'll talk to you soon.